Finn Harris looked out the window, watching as the other vehicles and buildings sped past. The sun had long since set, and the passing structures were merely a blur of colored lights. Faint technicolor streaks amid the darkness that vanished almost as quickly as they appeared. He could feel the gentle hum of the car's engine below them, but the shocks and soundproofing dampened most of the road noise. "Penny for your thoughts?" Rachael asked, snuggling up beside him and draping his arm across her shoulders. He could feel the smooth fabric of her dress, a fanciful affair perfect for the award ceremony they had just left. Finn grimaced, his eyes still on the window. He couldn't fight the heavy feeling that lingered in the pit of his stomach. It wasn't tangible. There wasn't any reason for it. Something just felt off. He felt Rachael tickle his ribs, and he let out a very manly yelp. Mock glaring at his wife, he said, "Behave. At my age, I'm likely to break a hip or something." A tinkling laugh. "You aren't quite that old yet. There might still be a little fire left in you," she retorted, looking up at him. The foreboding feeling receded slightly as he met her gaze. Glorious brown eyes, framed by auburn-colored hair tinged with faint traces of gray. Rachael had never felt the need to color it. She was just who she was, without any shame or reservation. Even if they had long since crossed the half-century mark and had decades of married life behind them, she hadn't changed a bit. She was still the same captivating, gorgeous, rebellious woman he had married. "And besides," she continued with a grin and a mischievous twinkle in her eye, "when you kick the bucket, I already have a young gentleman lined up and ready to go. I even have the French villa picked out. The life insurance should be just enough to cover it." "Is that so?" Finn replied with a raised eyebrow. He rose to her challenge, cupping the back of her head and drawing her toward him. Rachael smiled as their lips met. He might not be 20 anymore, but he could still make a point. When they withdrew a few minutes later, slightly breathless and flushed, there was a different sparkle in Rachel's eye, one that Finn knew well. "So, is there a way to speed this thing up?" she asked. "I hear you might know a guy." Finn snorted softly. He could feel the sharp edge of his most recent award digging into his back. He had designed this vehicle. Well, at least the software that helped navigate both their autonomous car and the many others that surrounded them. These new vehicles were revolutionary. They were much more efficient, allowing for travel in a fraction of the time of their conventional counterparts. They removed the need for separate lanes, traffic lights, and stop signs. Once his company helped repurpose the ancient interstate highway system, and this technology spread, people would be able to travel well past the previous speed limits, rivaling even train and air travel.